Hey guys, this video is a follow-on from my last video. This video is going to cover these questions that you can see on the screen right now, and I'll go into them in a decent amount of depth, give you all the best advice for preparing for the UCAT exam. If you have any questions that I haven't answered in this video or the previous one, just put them in the comments and either I'll reply to you or I'll just make another video about whatever that topic might be. How long should I take to prepare for the UCAT? It's a common question that everyone asks and it's a good question. I recommend 4 to 6 weeks because whenever you start revising for an exam, the first week is where you're kind of figuring out what the exam is. You're getting used to the routine, especially during summer holidays. Doing an exam and preparing for that, it's not going to be like 0 to 100 straight away. You're going to take a week or two to kind of get into the rhythm of studying. So take 6 weeks, and by the time you're at 4 weeks, you should be on a good routine and used to the studying. And then you can take those 4 weeks and do really good studying in that time, and you'll be ready for the exam easily. Why are you not focusing? Is that blurry? I don't care, I'm going to leave it. How should I prepare for the UCAT? First thing is you need to do timed practice. Whenever you're practicing questions for the exam, you need to make sure you're doing it in the same timed environment as it will be in the exam. The best way to do this is not to do simple individual questions one at a time. It's to do blocks of questions. So you want to do like 10 to 15 questions and calculate how much time you would need for that many questions in the exam and give yourself that much time. So if you're doing 10 questions for the QR section, that's going to be 40 seconds per question times by 10, so that's 400 seconds. And that's how much time you should give yourself to do all 10 questions. Because the thing is, in the real exam, some questions are going to take you 5 seconds, and some of them are going to take you 45 seconds. So it's not as simple as every question takes 40 seconds. It's more of a balance between some are short and some are longer. The next thing you want to know is which resources to use. Some free resources that you can use are the UCAT official website, okay? There are 2 free mock tests on there, and they have a load of practice questions for each of the subsections. I would recommend saving the mock tests until you're at least 3 or 4 weeks into the studying period, because the mock tests on the actual UCAT exam are probably the most representative of the real exam, since it's made by the same company. So save those ones till later on, and they are, by the way, free. So make sure you do those in proper test conditions, because they'll give you a good guide of how you're doing, how your practice is going, and how you're going to perform on the actual day. There's a website called Pass Medicine. They have around 3,000 questions and they're free. Pass Medicine is actually a website we use in medical school for like our exams and practicing, and I just recently realized that they have a UCAT section as well, and it's free. So you can, I think, subscribe for like 6 months and you get all those questions for free. So definitely check those out. There's another popular resource called Medify. If you haven't heard of Medify, it's an online thing. You pay monthly and you get access to everything on their website. It's very good. Honestly, I used it for my test, but it's kind of pricey. I think it was around, I'll put on screen how much it costs right now per month. Medify is good because it's a simulation of the test. It's exactly how the test will be. It's on a computer as well. And they have so many questions. But the downside personally for Medify was that I found the verbal reasoning section was harder in the real exam than it was in Medify. So because I've been using Medify to practice, when I got to the real exam, I was sort of underprepared for the verbal reasoning section. So because of that, I recommend that you use 1 to 3 different resources just so that you get a variety of questions. And wherever you find harder questions, I would try to get good at the harder ones, because it's better to be over-prepared for your exam than to be underprepared. I absolutely would not recommend any textbook. Personally, I think if an exam is online and it's on a computer, you should use a computer to practice, right? Don't be using a textbook to prepare for the UCAT. That doesn't make sense. You need to be used to looking at a screen. Also, whilst you're practicing, make sure you're using some sort of pen and paper or a whiteboard and pen. In your actual exam, they're going to give you a whiteboard and a pen, and that's how you're going to be able to make your notes. Anything that you scribble down, your calculations, it's on a whiteboard and a pen. The final question is, when should I do the test? It doesn't really make a difference when you do the test. There's not going to be a difference in difficulty or anything like that. Book the test, at a point where you know you can prepare adequately in time for the test. And try not to book it too close to the end of the cycle, because there's going to be a point towards the end where you need to write your personal statement, and you don't want to have this period where you've just finished the UCAT and then you have to rush and write the personal statement. Ideally, you want to give time to both. I think the more time you have, the better you're going to do for the personal statement and the UCAT. If I was to go back in time, personally, I would try and do it as early as possible, just so that you know what your score is, and then you can apply and search the universities, research which ones you want to apply to. Also, it's in the summer holidays, so the earlier you do the UCAT exam, the earlier you finish the studying, and then you can actually enjoy your summer. Just because you're applying to medicine doesn't mean that you need to take the entire summer off to do the application process, right? Make sure you're still having breaks and you're having fun and enjoying your time off. Those are the most frequently asked questions I get. If you guys have any more questions, put them in the comments below. And if you made it this far into the video, consider dropping a like. That would help the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.